Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, today I want to teach you all about DHCP server and client. So, there is the list of lessons that we should learn for today. At first, concept of DHCP server and DHCP client. Second is practice configuration of DHCP server and DHCP client. And third, fixed address DHCP server. First of all, I have a topology and there is the DHCP server and DHCP client. At this lesson, I want to focus on remoting router Ubuntu from client Ubuntu. Nah, the concept of DHCP server and DHCP client making a random address for our virtual machine. So, when resetting the virtual machine with DHCP, we could not setting the IP address manually. So, we can practice the configuration of router Ubuntu from client Ubuntu. First step, we can remote the router Ubuntu from client Ubuntu. So, we can login first, login to client Ubuntu. For remote the router Ubuntu, we can type the command ssh, input your username of router Ubuntu. My username is Ubuntu, and we can import our IP address from Ubuntu router. We can check IPA. Nah, connecting the client and router Ubuntu, I use IP 172.16.10.1 and the endpost is endpost 9, so we can input the IP address at Ubuntu client 172.16.10.1, and we didn't input the port of passphrase and we only use username and password. We can input the password of router Ubuntu. And we already remoting the router Ubuntu from client Ubuntu. So we can check the internet for router Ubuntu by checking DNS of Google is ping or ping google.com. So this is so our virtual machine is not connected to internet. So we can connect it to internet by control panel. From my basic configuration video, I already explaining how to connect virtual machine to the internet. So we can retry and that's successful. So when the virtual machine is connect to internet, we can start to install the DHCP by client Ubuntu. So we can install by command sudo install install ESJ Stripe DHCP Stripe server. So we can enter and we input the password of Ubuntu router. Missing destination file operand after ESG server. So there is an error, so we can check. There is a typo, so before the install, we should add apt. Sudo apt install ESG DHCP server. We can type Y for yes, and we can wait for the process is complete. Process is complete, then we can back to the router Ubuntu and we can check the IP address and the endpost. So I use the endpost 9 for connecting the client and router Ubuntu. Next, we can back to Ubuntu router that remoting from client Ubuntu, and we can type the command for editing file. Sudo nano size etc size default size ESC DHCP and type compaction. Enter. And there is an option of interface V4 and interface V6. We can fill mine is and post 9, so I can fill the codes by and post 9. After that, we can Control X, Y, and enter, so we can reboot the virtual machine or the router Ubuntu by sudo and reboot. When the output is connection to router is closed, so the router is rebooting automatically. The process of reboot is complete. We can back to the router and we can look it again. After that, we can edit the file of DHCP with command sudo nano size etc size DHCP DHCPT and type compaction. .conf. Okay, we can delete the hashtag of subnet. There is bottom of a slightly different. We can delete the hashtag until this makes least time. And we can set one by one this subnet range, domain name server, domain name, subnet mask, routers, broadcast address, and yes, the last is broadcast address. Before we set the file, the DHCP file, we can delete the subnet mask first. We can edit the subnet, replace the network of DHCP again. My IP is 172.16.10 and 0, and the net mask is 255. Yeah. 255, 255, 255, and 0. For the range, we can replace with 172, 16, 10, and for example, I use 10 until we can set or we can customize as you like. For example, I use 200 and option domain name server we can replace with 888 and domain name we can replace with google.com, and you can customize your version and option router and put the IP address of client. We can type 172, 16, 1 and 1. And for the broadcast address is 172, 16, 1 and 255. Okay, this is the configuration of DHCP. You can follow my step. Control X, Y, and enter. You can restart sudo systemctl restart ISC DHCP server. Okay, we can back to the Ubuntu client. We can go to the terminal and we can set here, here, and we can go to wired connected and wired settings. We can step into the settings of wired connected. After that, we can open the IPv4. Here I am use manual for IPv4 method. We can replace with automatic DHCP. After that, we can apply and we can disable and enable the wired connected. Disable and enable again. After that, we can type command sudo netplan apply untuk client. Okay. We can step into the last lesson is fixed IP address. So we can remove the router again from the Ubuntu client using the same command as we used at first, SSH. Type the username and type the IP address. We can check the IP address. After that, we can open the file of DHCP by command sudo nano /attach DHCP dhcpt.conf. We can type the password. We can search by Control and W. We can search host Fantasia. After that, we can delete the hashtags from host Fantasia and as- and next we can copy the MAC address of router Ubuntu. Copy. We can remote the router, but in another tab of client Ubuntu. Okay. We can copy the MAC address of IP client. This. We can yeah, click right and we can copy. After that, we can back to the configuration of the DHCP. So we can replace this hardware internet by router's MAC address. We can click right and we can pass. For the fixed IP address, we can replace with the IP address that we got from the DHCP settings, like this. After that, okay, we can control X, Y, and enter. We can restart. So, restart AST DHCP server, and we can disable and enable again to our connect word settings. Okay. The last step is restart with sudo let1 apply. So with fixed address, we can save the dynamic IP address that we got from the automatic DHCP permanent, and the IP address couldn't change because of the fixed address. Okay? Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope this video can help you guys to understanding DHCP server and DHCP client. I apologize sincerely if when I explaining about DHCP server and there is an mistakes that I didn't notice, so you can comment at the comment section below. Thank you for watching my video and see you next time. Bye!